Oh, good morning. Good morning, Carrie Bishop. Hi, honey. Carrie, honey, is the signal okay? Oh, somebody sent me a ghost. What? What is that? Carrie, what is that? Hi, Pam Cat. Hi, Pam. I see we still have the @ signs today. I didn't do too badly the other day figuring out who's who. You don't know what it is, Carrie? Or you don't know if the signal is okay? How you babies doing this morning? If you notice the title, what is the acronym? GRWM. Get ready with me. Thank you, Bama Cat, for letting me know. Y'all, I got to go get my driver's license renewed. But you don't know about that emoji thing. I haven't even combed my hair this morning. I just put it up in a scrunchie. Anyway, y'all ever have one of those nights? This is rare for me. I woke up at 3:30 this morning. I was wide awake. Nothing was going on. I didn't have like a bad dream or anything. But I woke up at 3:30 this morning. I could not go back to sleep. So what do you do when it's 3:30 in the morning and you can't go back to sleep? If you're me anyway. You turn on YouTube on your phone. And you go into the other room where you won't wake your hubby up. And you see if there's something on that you might be interested in. I'm not a drama nana. It's a get ready with me. We're going to go inside and I'm going to slap some makeup on because I got to have my picture taken to get my driver's license renewed. Hi, Eve. Carrie, you've been watching Hallmark movies all night. Hi, Big Girl for Life. Hi, Anna. Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you, Anna. Thank you so much. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you, honey. But yeah. So I put things, what the hell am I trying to say? Spit it out, Susan. By the way, hi, I'm Susan. Welcome to Lip Luck No More. I set up our coffee pot the night before with a timer, right? For 6 a.m. when we usually get up. And by about 4:30 to 5 o'clock, I was like, well, you might as well just get up and go ahead and start the coffee. Lifetime movies, not lifetime, Bamacat says. So, yeah. So I don't know. I know Carrie has those kind of nights. And the next thing you know, the moment that Bob, my husband, smelled the coffee brewing, he was like, he got up, he comes walking into the kitchen all, kind of blurry eyed like you are when you first get out of the bed, and he's putting his robe on. Yeah. So I poured him a cup of coffee, poured myself a cup, and I have almost all of my morning chores done already. So when Bob left about 15 minutes ago, I said, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself for the next 2 hours, because for the next 2 hours is usually when I'm doing my housework. Hi, Vanessa. Vanessa, I've had a great weekend, and I hope you did as well. And you guys know, when I go live, double negative coming up. So, yeah, correct me if you wish, whatever. Uh, I ain't got no content, except I'm going to go in and put on some makeup for anybody that wants to hang out. Anyway, so that's why I'm live, because I don't know what to do with myself at 7 o'clock in the morning when I already have my chores done. Vanessa, you did have a good weekend. Hi, Hilton, Norway. How's the baby? Cussing is content. That's right. And I can string together without even putting any thought into it. I mean, that's why on my title page, and I know most of you already know this, but on, I guess you call it your home page, whatever the fuck you call it here on YouTube, that first page that comes up with all your stuff on it. Up yonder at the top on that page, where you tell people about your channel or whatever. The second sentence in that is I cuss a lot. Now, there you kids go, timing out and hiding trolls before you even let me have any fun. No, Global, can you not tell, sweetheart, from my accent? I live in Arkansas, in the United States, north central Arkansas, Greers Ferry Lake. Well, hello, Patrick Kavanaugh from Texas. Glad you're here. Thank you. Well, Vanessa, I'm not an ex-sailor, but I was married to a sailor. And my bestie was a chief petty officer. So, yeah, there's that. And you know what's weird is I grew up in a family that did not cuss. Yeah, I know. But mods, how am I going to have a jolly, jolly good time taking a troll and roasting their ass over hot burning embers if you babies are going to time them out and block them? Tommy might have had something. Tommy might have had something I could use for content. Oh, the Clintons hold a global. What is OBE? I don't know what OBE is. I'm just an ignorant, almost 75-year-old hillbilly. Clue me in, buddy. Oh, Tommy wants to know what I like up my bum. Oh, thank you, Global, for cluing me in. Order of the British Empire. Hi down under with love, Global. Don't hate me for this. And I'll get back to Tommy here in a minute before we go slap on some makeup, which I've forgotten how to do. Hi, Kiki Eyes. Anyway. The first time I met Bill Clinton, my second husband, I've had several of them, 4 as a matter of fact. Several means more than 2, but less than many. But in a lot, hi Susan, in a lot of people's eyes, Patrick, I will be 75 on Thursday. Sure will, hon. I am freaky. I am a freaky grandma. But I'm going to get through this story about the first time I met Bill. Damn it. That means I'm not going to look at your chat because obviously it's distracting. And then I'll get back to telling Tommy what I like up my bum. That way he can go do one of these, right? If Tommy's even a male, Tommy may be a female. Global, I did not. I sold it to Monica Lewinsky. Can you believe it? I got $50,000 for that dress. I know, it was awesome. Anyway, the first time I met Bill Clinton, former president of the United States, he was the governor of the state of Arkansas, and my husband was the assistant secretary of state. And Paul Revere, who was Secretary of State, yes, Paul Revere, who was Secretary of State for the state of Arkansas at the time, my husband's office and work area was contained within the office of the Secretary of State, and it was right next door to the office of the governor. And I was in and around the Capitol building quite often. Let me dump my ashes. But all the times I was there, I never got to meet Bill. I would just hang out in his secretary's office, and she and I would chat about stuff. Well, then came what was called the Year of the Child. I think it was either 1979 or 1980. I'm really old, so it's hard for me to remember back that far. Anyway, it was the Year of the Child, and we were having sponsored events on the state capitol grounds in Little Rock in celebration of that. And it was on a Saturday. And Bill and Hillary were there. This event was taking place on the magnificently constructed monumental steps that leads one up into the Arkansas State Capitol building. When I arrived, Bill was standing several steps above my eye line. Like I had to look up to look into his face. But if I looked straight ahead, I was looking straight at his crotch. I know. He was wearing dark brown dungarees and a navy blue polo shirt. Now I'm not making this up. This is a true story. This is a true story. So, the very first thing I noticed was that the crotch from the bottom of the zipper to the inseam of Bill Clinton's pants was ripped out. I swear. Get down, kitty. Get down, kitty. Hi, Poppy. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Chico, you stop it. Just that little area between the bottom of the zipper and the inseam was ripped out. Now, thank heavens, he was wearing underwear. So I'd never got to see Bill Clinton's balls. I also did not tell him that his pants were ripped. had a great time. My son got his face painted like a clown and all of those cool activities that they have for kids. Yes, Chico, yes. Hi, Anna. So the next time I was with Bill, not in the biblical sense, was at a state convention, a formal state convention, formal attire and all that. And we danced a slow dance and chatted a bit about nothing at all. Then the next time I hung out with Bill Clinton was on Lake Norfolk on a ferry, because before the bridges were built across Lake Norfolk in Baxter County, Arkansas, you crossed from one side of Lake Norfolk to the other on a ferry. This was after the bridges were built and dedicated. So the ferries were decommissioned and put into private use. And the Arkansas State Police decided to have a fish fry on one of the ferries. And the guest of honor was, at the time, Governor Bill Clinton. By this time, I was on my third husband. We owned and operated a professional audio-video recording studio, and at the time, I also was the news director for the small television station in the town where we lived, as well as the 6 and 10 o'clock news anchor. So naturally, I had to be on that ferry. So on that occasion, I sat down global across the table from Bill Clinton, and we ate fried catfish and French fries with our fingers. It was before he realized he needed to change his nutritional plan, maybe lose a little weight and not have a heart attack. I'm going to light another cigarette. The fourth time and final time that I spent any time with former President Bill Clinton, I had been elected as an alderman. Now, if you don't know what an alderman is, I'm not being sexist. It's what you call someone who is elected to a city council, the governing body of a municipality. And twice a year here in Arkansas, we have what are called the Arkansas Municipal League conventions. Well, if you have aldermen, city council members, duly elected by their constituents, if you had them coming from all over the 75 counties within the state of Arkansas, who's going to be your keynote speaker? The fucking governor, of course. And on that particular evening, in the ballroom of the Arlington Hotel in Hot Springs, Arkansas, there I was, full formal attire again. Different dress. I didn't wear the same dress. Fuck, it was 10 years later or whatever. I had a different formal gown. And there we were in the ballroom at the Arlington Hotel, right smack dab in downtown Hot Springs, Arkansas, with hundreds and hundreds of other council members, both male and female. When the governor of Arkansas The Honorable Bill Clinton approached my table and with outstretched hand asked me if I would like to dance. Now, this was at the time that the rumors were going around all over the state of Arkansas that Bill Clinton was planning on running for president of the United States. What? But he had not yet fulfilled his term as governor, duly elected by his constituents. By God. So this time when we danced, it wasn't just talking about stuff. So this is my formal and official announcement to the entire fucking world, or at least the 26 of you watching, that I myself have been directly lied to and a lowered quiet voice during a slow dance at the Arlington Hotel into my ear when I asked directly Bill Clinton. I said to him, I asked him, "It is my understanding, Governor, that it is your plan to run for President of the United States of America. Do you intend to fulfill your term as governor of the state of Arkansas?" And he lied to me. Bill Clinton told me then and there, and I dare him to deny it, that he had no intentions of running for president of the United States. It was merely a nasty rumor going through the grapevine of the political of Arkansas, and his focus was fulfilling his duty to the constituency of Arkansas. Motherfucker lied to me right then and there in a slow dance informal attire. Here's what makes it worse. I believed him. Now my secret is out because until today, I've only told a handful of people that story. It isn't even a story. It's an accounting of a real life experience. Four of them, yeah. So, when cocksuckers like Benny Keys on YouTube a number of years ago want to make offhanded bullshit asshole remarks about Susan Brewer having danced with the President of the United States 2 times, I did. I didn't say that at the time he was the president, motherfucker. I said I had danced 2 times with a president of the United States, didn't I, Benny? If you happen to be watching, oh my God, I'm so worked up, I'm fixing to slobber. He was still governor at the time. Semantics. Anyway, I'm through smoking. I need to put on some makeup. Is there anybody still here? Oh, there is. Is Global still here? Oh, Tommy. What do I like up my bum? Chroma Chronicles. Hi, honey. Grandma Spanker. You just rolled into the very best fucking channel on YouTube. Aside from the Chroma Reels, Chroma Chronicles, and a whole bunch of others that I could name, but I won't. But Grandma Spanking, what you have just rolled into is an old great grandma from the state of Arkansas, living on Groose Ferry Lake, an old retired woman that likes to come up on YouTube and just jack her fucking jaws about anything that whatever comes into my head. I know it. Tommy. First of all, I wouldn't fuck a bum. If you don't have a job in a car, you're not going to fuck me, okay? Second of all, I have a tattoo across the cheeks of my ass. On my left cheek, it says exit, and on my right cheek, it says only. You put those two words together right above the crack of my ass, it says exit only. In other words, motherfucker, I don't take it up the bum. Do you? What do you like up your bum, baby? I got a strap on in there. You want to try it? Guess what else happens when you wake up at 3:30 in the morning and you can't go back to sleep? We're going to get up and move. We're going inside. If you have a barf bag, please grab it because there will be some tumultuous activity between here and where we're going. So hang on, here we go. Is that the moon I see over there in the west? Or just a headlight beam from the old express? I know Tommy's gone. Whatever I say. Did somebody give me money? Crama Chronicles? Thank you for your $1.99 super chat, baby. I'm going to try to like it and hope I don't accidentally time you out. Hi, Chicken Little. I haven't done a line of cocaine since September 25th of 1985. I can't look at chat and put on makeup that I don't remember how to do. So anybody that wants to hang out and get ready with me to go get my driver's license renewed because it expires on Thursday, which is my 75th birthday. That means what? I'm going to e-bag, dry bag, and grift, even though I don't know how because I ain't never done it. But I want every single one of you to send me all of your money for my birthday, all of it. I want you to overdraft your bank accounts and send me birthday money because I'm going to be 3/4 of a fucking century old. Oh, guess what else? The day before my birthday is our wedding anniversary. So after I go get my driver's license renewed, and I know I still haven't told you what else happens if you wake up at 3:30 in the morning. I'll get back to it. I don't have problems up here yet. Anyway, unless I'm stoned, which I'm not yet, but I should be. Anyway. Now I forgot what I was saying before I said that. So maybe I do have those kind of problems. Anyway. So here's what else happens to you if you wake up at 3:30 in the morning and you can't go back to sleep, and you pick up your phone and go in the other room and turn on YouTube. Well, shit fired, save matches. And Carrie, honey, and not a drama nana, if you're still here, honey, as always, when good folks like Drama Chronicles and other good creators come into our chat, now don't drop links for the fucking assholes, and you know who they are. But when somebody nice, somebody intelligent, somebody creative, such as Drama Chronicles, comes into our chat room, please feel free to drop a link to their channel. So if you wake up at 3:30 in the morning and you go in the other room and you turn on YouTube and you're scrolling, well, you might come across a channel that you really like that's called the Krama Reels, which I did. Now, it's not really like the Krama Reels. I'm squinting at a notification. Granny's watching. Krama Reels doesn't, or at least from my knowledge, because I'm not usually up in the middle of the night, like Jody Sue Brown and Brittany J. Some of us go to bed. Anyway, so what do I say? Krama Reels is on live. And she is replaying or streaming. I'm not sure which one she was doing. Brittany J, who was live on TikTok. Well, I turned it on low volume, laid down in my day bed and thought maybe you'll doze back off. Now, keep in mind, this is before everything I already told you that happened after this. Don't get your timelines confused. So, I couldn't go back to sleep, so I thought, well, turn on your Bluetooth and let's see what's going on over here. Now, I ain't going to go off into the hullabaloo of allegedly with Brittany J, other than to tell you that the reason she was live on TikTok is because she got her ass stricken, smitten by a YouTube creator known as Queen Bee. Copyright strike. What happens if you get a copyright strike on YouTube? While you're live streaming. Right in the middle of your damn live stream, you're gonna burning it down. She's burning it down. Okay. So what's going to happen is that without any notice whatsoever, the good people or bots at YouTube, they're going to shut your live stream down, boom, right then and there. And all of a sudden, the viewer's going to see a little thing comes up on the screen that says, this video is unavailable due to it having been fucking removed by us because the son of a bitch that was live streaming did a copyright violation. And then what happens next? You don't get to be on YouTube for 7 days live. Ain't it something? So, there she was over on TikTok. But now, did we get anything different? Did we get any true crime? No. Did we get a reasonable and valid explanation and a taking of accountability for why she wasn't on YouTube? Why, no, because if you're Brittany J, every fucking thing that happens to you on YouTube is somebody else's fault. So, there we were. A number of us over at the Crama Reels, listening to old Brittany J going over and over and over and over the same old shit that she's been going over and over and over for fucking ever. Now, here's what else happens. You'll go into the chat box and you'll say, I woke up at 3:30 to go pee and I can't go back to sleep, so I'm going to try to lay here and listen to y'all until I doze back off. And your name is White in the chat. And then here in a little bit, you realize you ain't going back to sleep. So you do all the stuff I've already told you I did. And you go back into the chat and you say, well, hell, I might as well just get up and start the coffee because I ain't going back to sleep. And guess what happened? Your name turned blue. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm blue. I don't know whether to thank you or curse you. Because y'all know, any of you that's been around here a little while, well, that's a little bit heavy, isn't it? I told you I don't remember how to do this. Anyway, the lesson, the moral of this story is, oh no, before I get to the moral, you that have been around here for a little while, you know that for the first couple of years I was on YouTube. I've been on here 4 years. First couple of years I was on YouTube. The next thing I knew, I was modding for 17 channels. Fortunately, the majority of them rarely went live. Then after a while, I realized that it was a volunteer position and that just because they trusted me enough to give me a wrench didn't mean I had to fucking show up every time they went live. That helped a lot. So, I spent a good number of weeks, if not months, getting unmodded on purpose, either by requesting to have the wrench taken or doing what I refer to as fading, where you just aren't showing up anymore, and so then they'll just take your wrench because you're not around. And there was a couple of them. Yes, a couple, not several, which is two. More than two, but less than many. I mean, there were two that I specifically said, you need to take my fucking wrench because I don't fucking like you. And they did. And then you wake up at 3:30 in the morning and a little stink pot whippersnapper named the Cromer Reels gives you a fucking wrench. I like that wrench. If she wants me to, I'll keep it. Man, that is way too heavy, y'all. That is so incredibly heavy. This is what happens when you don't know what you're doing and you're live on YouTube and you keep looking at the chat. You put on way too much. Shit, fire and save the matches. All right, well, that means I have to put on way too much on the other eye. Anyway, so the moral of the story is, if you don't want to be handed a wrench on YouTube, don't wake up to go pee at 3:30 in the morning and turn YouTube on and go into the chat. Just don't do it. What am I doing? Oh my gosh. So, yeah. So the dry begging, e-begging, y'all pay my electric bill, grifting, little squeaky chair, always shoving food in her mouth and mukbanging while she's live on YouTube. She reminds me in some ways of Jody Sue Brown. I don't know what that cunt's been up to lately. I hadn't been over to Jody Sue Brown's in quite some time. Because, like Brittany J. and a large number of others on this platform, if the lips are moving, the bitch is lying. And there are some people in this world that there is absolutely no hope for. Especially those, in my non-humble opinion, that, y'all, I got to go buy some eyeliner. I don't have any eyeliner. I'm going to have to go buy me some eyeliner. What was I saying? Y'all know what? When my mama was still walking this earth and we were having a conversation and I would forget what I was about to say, my mama would say, well, you forgot what you were going to say because either it was not important or you were just about to lie. I am no psychologist. I'm no psychiatrist. For all intents and purposes here on this platform, I have no qualifications. But I do know how to research. And I have an IQ of 128. And I learned at the age of 4 to not lie. Now, I learned to not lie because I was taught a lesson for having done so. Hang on a second, I got mascara on my eyelid. But one must have the moral fiber to learn that lesson when it is taught to them. They must have the integrity to apply it to their lives. And they must have the tenacity to continue in their better behavior. But I am not what research would call, label, categorize as a pathological liar. I've done a lot of research on it. And although I have, for all intents and purposes here on this platform, no qualifications, it is my non-humble opinion that both Brittany Nicole Jackson, I'm not doxing her, her legal name is spread all over the place, especially after she filed a frivolous lawsuit in the state of Pennsylvania against Granny's Watching, which she lost horribly, and we are waiting for the judgment to come down. But anyway, a pathological liar often does not even know they are lying. A pathological liar most often, or not most often, but often, doesn't even know they lied. I know. Because those of us who have lied
which is all of us. And those of us who learned not to. It's hard for us to wrap our brains around such a thing. Another brain that is a lying brain and doesn't even fucking know that it's a liar. From what I have been able to ascertain in a very non-qualified way, is what I see in common between Jody Sue Brown and Brittany Nicole Jackson is that, in my non-humble opinion, they are both motherfucking pathological liars. They will both do and or say just about anything to get money, attention, what they perceive as clout, in some way or another. Therefore, in my non-humble opinion, there is no hope for either of them. Zero, zilch, nada, zip. None. Both these bitches are in their late 30s. Both of them, from what we have seen, have had demonstrated to us through their words and their actions on this platform, have most likely lived their entire fucking lives. I just got the low battery warning, so I'm going to have to go. I'm not going to get to read to you today. So that all is to say, any hope of correction for either one of them, I believe, is beyond the realm of possibility. So why the fuck would I go watch Jody Sue Brown or Brittany J? Unless it's on a clip channel, and that's how I know all this shit. All my bags are packed. I'm ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. Already I'm so lonesome I could cry. But the dawn is breaking, it's early morn. Taxi's waiting and he's blowing his horn. Already I'm so lonesome I could cry. So kiss me and smile for me and tell me that you'll wait for me. Babies, thank everybody for being here. If you haven't already, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. YouTube doesn't give a fuck. Both are considered engagement with the channel and will help boost my little tiny channel into the algorithm. So Tommy Global, give me a thumbs up, share me out, and if you motherfuckers haven't subscribed, why the fuck haven't you? Anyway, I'm ready to go get my driver's license renewed, and I'm wearing a bra. I'll see you on the flip-flop, baby dolls. Already I'm so lonesome I could cry. So for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me